Ever wondered why the rich often avoid the poor? It's a question that intrigues many. Let's delve into it. The divide between wealth and poverty isn't just about bank balances. It's about lifestyles, drive, and the different ways these two groups see the world. The affluent are often engrossed in their businesses, their careers, their families, their future. The less wealthy, on the other hand, may be preoccupied with day-to-day survival, living quiet lives and savoring simple things. Conversations differ too. The wealthy discuss ideas, innovations, and new ventures. The less affluent, meanwhile, may find themselves caught up in rumors and gossip. Risk-taking is another factor. The wealthy embrace it, while the poor may shy away from it. And then there's social status and trust, two facets of life that further widen this chasm. So stay tuned as we unravel the mystery behind the divide between the rich and the poor. Lifestyles and drive, two aspects that starkly differentiate the rich from the poor. Let's delve into this. On one hand, the affluent are often engrossed in running businesses, nurturing their careers and families. Thus their priorities are aligned with long-term visions and goals. On the other hand, the less fortunate are usually preoccupied with survival, wondering how to manage their bills. Their interests and objectives are more immediate and survival-oriented. Now let's talk about drive. The wealthy often possess an insatiable thirst to push boundaries and explore new ventures. They are proactive, seeking to mitigate risks and seize opportunities. Conversely, those in the lower income brackets may relish in the simplicity of life, often preoccupied with day-to-day trivialities and gossip. They may be less inclined to take risks, preferring to maintain the status quo. Thus, the stark differences in lifestyle and drive create a chasm between the rich and the poor. What we talk about also reflects our social standing, isn't it? Now let's delve into the topics of discussion that usually take place among the rich and the poor. The rich, often immersed in a world of ideas, talk about business ventures, innovations, and possibilities. Their conversations revolve around how to grow wealth, expand businesses, or bring new ideas to life. On the other hand, the less affluent often find themselves discussing more personal matters. Their conversations tend to focus on day-to-day happenings, personal lives of others, or even the latest gossip. This stark difference in conversation topics is not just a matter of preference, it's a reflection of their mindset, their focus, and their aspirations. The wealthy are constantly looking forward, seeking growth and expansion. Meanwhile, the less affluent are often more focused on the present or the past, grappling with immediate challenges. The divergence in conversation topics further widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Risk-taking and social status. Two more factors that play into the rich-poor divide. For the well-heeled, risk is seen as a stepping stone to greater wealth. They are always on the lookout for novel opportunities, undeterred by the potential hurdles. The poor, on the other hand, tend to be risk-averse. For them, the stakes are high and the margin for error is slim. They'd rather stick to what they know than venture into the unknown. This difference in risk appetite is a significant part of what separates the two groups. Then there's the matter of social status. The wealthy have access to higher education and cultural experiences that the poor often lack. They read more, engage in intellectual discourse, and are more attuned to the world of business. The poor, by contrast, consume more entertainment-oriented content. This divergence in experience and exposure only widens the gap. The disparity in risk-taking and social status further deepens the divide between the rich and the poor. Trust, a key factor in any relationship, even between the rich and the poor. The issue of trust can become a significant barrier when wealth and poverty meet. The wealthier may harbor a degree of suspicion towards those less fortunate. This suspicion often stems from a fear of crime, which is statistically more prevalent in areas suffering from high poverty. It's an unfortunate reality that the desperation born out of poverty can sometimes lead to unlawful activities. This correlation, albeit not universal, feeds into the rich's wariness towards the poor. It's not so much a question of personal character, but rather the circumstances that poverty can breed. This distrust can create an invisible wall, further isolating the two groups from each other. It's a cycle of fear and misunderstanding that only reinforces the divide. It's evident that trust issues further strain the relationship between the rich and the poor. Let's quickly recap what we've discussed today. Different lifestyles, drives, topics of discussion, risk attitudes, social status, and trust issues often separate the rich from the poor. Understanding these differences can help bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, creating a more harmonious society.